Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jenny. Today is going to be my March favorites and fails. I do have 7 favorites and only 1 in-between item. I have no fails for the month of March, so that is really nice. So I am going to go ahead and start with the 1 in-between product and get it out of the way, and that is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Long Wear Concealer. I have mine in the shade 120 Vanilla. This is an okay concealer, and it has really nice coverage. It is the concealer I have on under my eyes today. I feel like it just starts to look heavy throughout the day, and it does kind of crease into my under eye lines and stuff like that. So as a whole, this isn't bad, but I do feel like there are better, even cheaper options at the drugstore. Like the ColourPop concealer is really good. The Makeup Revolution concealer is really good. The NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer is really good as well. So this one's okay, but I definitely like my other ones better than this one. We're going to talk about my non-palette favorites first. And the first one is this Flower Beauty Blush Brush. I have been loving it. And I love the way that it is tapered because it picks up product really easily. It evenly distributes the product across your face, and it's perfectly sized for my cheeks as well. I think that's really, really beautiful. The bristles are super soft. It's a gorgeous quality brush, and I definitely recommend it. It was kind of high in price, I think like $14, so that is kind of up there for drugstore, but as a whole, this is a gorgeous blush brush. It applies product beautifully. I definitely recommend it. The next product is almost empty actually, and it is the Wet n Wild Rose Toner. I have used this non-stop. I use it every single morning, and I already have a backup in my Ulta cart. It tones the skin and preps it for makeup without drying it out. I have another toner that I had been using for a long time that actually dried my skin out a lot, and this adds a nice bit of hydration underneath foundation, concealer, anything. It's good when you're wearing makeup, it's good when you're not wearing makeup. I really, really like this step, and I really hope that they don't keep this limited edition in this rose collection, and I hope that they make this a permanent item and maybe bring out some other different, like cucumber or coconut or something that's not rose, because I'd be willing to try those. Definitely recommend this. I think that it is a great addition to your skincare routine. So I do have 5 palettes, 4 of them eyeshadow palettes of course, and 1 of them face palettes. So I will talk about the face palette first, and it is the CoverFX Perfector face palette, the one that came in my boxy charm. I have had this for a short amount of time too, but I love this product. It is absolutely gorgeous. In this palette you get 3 highlights, a blush, a setting powder, and a bronzer contour. It is the contour that I have on today. It is also the highlight that I am wearing today. I'm not wearing the blush, unfortunately, but the blush is a gorgeous shade. I actually didn't think I was going to like this setting powder because it does have some shimmer in it. But as a whole, it is a beautiful setting powder, and it actually does keep me pretty matte throughout the day. The shimmer in it's not a big deal. You can't really see it on your face. The contour is a really beautiful shade for me. The blush is stunning. It's like a beautiful, like corally kind of flush to the cheeks, and all 3 highlighters are absolutely beautiful. This one's kind of like a champagne gold, and this one's like a pink, and both of them are kind of natural and finish, but then when you add this like white kind of silvery shade on top, it really adds the pop that you see on top of my cheekbones today. It has a really nice mirror. I love the simple packaging. As a whole, this is a gorgeous palette, and I love it a lot. Now we're moving on to the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette. This is what the inside of the palette looks like. The colors are kind of washed out on camera because of the weird holographic background, but this palette is very pinky, very peachy, very perfect for spring. And actually, these 2 shades right here are pressed glitters. I have not worn them like out and about, but I have played around with them on the eyes. As most pressed glitters go, they do have some fallout and stuff, but this shade right here actually is a Super Shock shadow in this palette. Most Super Shock shadows are in those little pots, but this one's in a palette, and I think that's a first for them. I really, really love it. I really love the color story here. This is very, very perfect for spring. Absolutely gorgeous quality as usual. I love this palette more than others for some reason. I feel like these blend differently, even though I love my ColourPop palettes and I think that they're really good quality. There's something different about this one, and I just love it a lot. Next is the Warrior 2 palette by Juvia's Place. It is the all matte neutral palette. This color selection really drew me in with like this really nice peach and this nice like reddish brown. I like the way that this is laid out because it has like a more neutral row, a warm row, and a cool row. And I think that's really, really fun to mix and match these mattes, and then you can throw a random shimmer, a random liquid shadow on top, and it looks absolutely beautiful. You can't go wrong with this palette, and as I've said a million times on this channel, Juvia's Place has gorgeous eyeshadows, and I really, really recommend this palette if you're in the market for an all matte neutral palette. These next 2 palettes are from the brand Profusion, and this first one is the Amethyst Eyes eyeshadow palette, but I really like the color selection in this. When you apply them, they are kind of like muted washes of color, which I actually enjoy when it comes to these color schemes. The only shadow I'm not a fan of is Hard Rock. It's not a bad quality shadow, but that grayish kind of undertone feels really weird with the rest of these like kind of warm, more bright shades. So that shade kind of just doesn't work for me in this palette with these colors, but as a whole, the quality of these are really, really nice. They did have some other kind of color variations, like in this packaging, there was like chestnut eyes, something else, I can't remember. But as a whole, if you're in the market for a color scheme like this, kind of neutral, kind of pinky purpley, really, really pretty. I like the quality of this a lot if you are into a more subtle, natural kind of look. On the opposite spectrum is the Wanderlust palette, which is the palette that I have on my eyes. This is the second look that I did for my 3 looks 1 palette using this Wanderlust palette. That video will be up as soon as I get the third look done. But this is what the palette looks like on the inside. It is absolutely stunning. I was wanting a palette with a lot of pops of color, and I think that this one's really nice because while you do have some nice neutrally kind of shades, you have some really nice greens, some blues and teals, and some pinks and purples. So most of your color wheel is accounted for here. And I think that these are really, really fun because while these are very bright, I feel like most of these shades are actually really wearable in this palette. Like I think I could probably wear this look to work and get away with it. Now, the pinkier look that I did is a little bit bold for work if you work in an office like I do, but as a whole, I think that this palette is absolutely stunning. The quality is excellent. It definitely makes me want to check out more Profusion eyeshadow palettes for sure. So that has been my March favorite and fails video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell down below so that you'll be notified when April's favorites and fails goes up. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to subscribe, please feel free. And I'll see you next time. Bye guys.